Welcome to the Whiskey Explorer. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode, guys. If this is your first time at the channel, if you could please do us a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let us know what you thought about the video, and that way we can help grow the community here at the Whiskey Explorer. If you are a returning viewer to the channel, thanks so much for joining me for another review. And tonight we've got something kind of cool, and we've got a Japanese single malt. So this is the Yoichi Single Malt from Nikka. So what to tell you guys about the Yoichi Single Malt from Nikka? Well, this is actually from Nikka's first distillery, the Yoichi distillery, and this was opened by founder Matasaka Takasura. He actually opened the distillery because he wanted to create something that was authentic to the Scottish single malt style. So he chose a part of Japan to build this distillery where he would actually invoke similar climate to what he was actually, where he learned to create single malts in Scotland. So that's where he had trained when he was coming up in the world of whiskey. So there actually used to be an age-stated Yoichi offering from Nikka, and that was a 12-year-old single malt. Unfortunately, due to the craze and the hype surrounding Japanese whiskey, all of those age-stated stocks of Yoichi have since sold. So the last ones came out right around 2015, and Nikka transitioned to a no age statement offering. And I actually hadn't seen this one, so this just recently hit our shelves here at the BC Liquor Store, so I thought I better go and pick one up and see what it's all about. So this is supposed to be a slightly more peated style of single malt Japanese whiskey. And this would differ from the other offering from Nikka, the other single malt offering that they have as well, which is sort of a sister offering to this, the Miyagikyo. And that is much more of a sort of fruit-forward, ex-sherry cask type of single malt. So this one here, we're expecting just a little bit of the peat, but I think it's going to be different because it says that it's just lightly peated. And so hopefully we'll get some of those coastal flavors, but it'll just be, I'm thinking it's going to be like a lightly peated Highland Scotch. So let's get into this one here, get a pour of the Yoichi Single Malt from Nikka. So one thing I noticed right away, my friend and I popped this together and we totally thought this was going to be a cork closure, but actually it is sadly a screw top. So this runs about $95 Canadian here in our area, and so just think for that kind of money, nice Japanese whiskey, they could include a cork stopper. I would really like to see that on this bottling. But nonetheless, we got a screw top, but it's, you know, it's all about how the whiskey actually tastes. So let's get into this one, dive in and see what we get. All right, so I'll get a nice little pour of this one going. There we go. All right. So the Yoichi Single Malt from Nikka. Let's have a look at the color in the glass here to start. There we go. So you guys can see on the camera there, it's a very kind of straw color. So nice golden hue to it. Not too much color there, but yeah, very kind of nice light golden straw color to that. Just kind of a quick swirl around the glass here. One thing I noticed when I first tried this one is actually the legs were quite pronounced on it. So nice kind of thick legs on this one. Kind of coating the glass quite well there. Let's dive in there for a nosing, guys. Oh, there's just a beautiful malty character right off the front there. So the first sort of smells that I get there, the first nose is just a nice malt flavor. Some vanilla. This is really reminding me of a single malt scotch, so something sort of maybe in the Deanston vein, like a nice Highland Scotch. And just whispers of peat smoke in the background there, so there's a nice waft of peat smoke as well to go with that. Definitely some fruit coming out there, some orchard fruit. So thinking like pear, sort of apple type flavors coming out. Yeah, and then a little bit of peat smoke in the background. That has a really nice nose. You get a little bit of ginger in the background there as well, sort of hidden underneath the layers. All right, so let's dive in there for a quick taste of this one. Cheers, guys. It's definitely a lot more peat on the palate. So there's just sort of a whisper of smoke and peat on the nose, but you do get quite a bit of peat on the palate on this one, I'm finding. You have some nice sweet orchard fruits mixed in with that. Kind of a pear type flavor. A little bit of a green apple maybe. There's some sweetness there as well, so there's some vanilla. A little bit of a floral note here as well. And there's also, on the back end, little light spicing there as well. So just a little bit of maybe sugar and spice in the background. That is a really interesting flavor. That is a very engaging Japanese single malt there. Really expressive. So lots to discover in this glass. Wafts of smoke in the background there. The peat is actually running sort of a vein throughout the whole glass. But that's mixed in with those orchard fruits, some delicate vanillas, a little bit of a floral type feel to it as well. And then there's definitely some sweetness to it as well, and some ginger kind of spiciness in the background. Let's go in for another sip. Cheers, guys. It's even better on the second sip. Nice kind of sweet malty flavor up front. Then sort of right away on the mid palate, you're getting the peat smoke in there. Sweet vanilla. It's almost kind of got a creamy mouthfeel to it. There's a little bit of mouthfeel for sure. It's nice and coating. A little bit of spice in the background, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of white pepper. Vanilla's in there. The orchard fruit that I mentioned, a little bit of pear, a little bit of green apple maybe. Floral note as well. And what's nice about this one is it is bottled at 45%, but you do get a nice long finish out of this one. So that is actually really, really going on. Like, I remember trying this with my friend at first and just being kind of like blown away by how long at 45% for a no age statement single malt the finish goes for. It's still going now, so get a nice solid finish out of this one. So I actually think even at $95, this is actually a really good value whiskey. There's lots to discover in this glass, lots to explore. It's really interesting, it's complex, it's flavorful, and I find this to be a really engaging dram. So I would recommend, if you do see it on the shelf, pick up a bottle of the Yoichi Single Malt from Nikka. And that will do it for this review. All right, guys, so till next time, may your sails be full and your drowns be fuller. Cheers.